Hey friends, I'm just jumping on here real quick because I'm going to cut up some chicken to make some ground chicken. So I'm cutting up chicken breast and we're going to grind it up in the twist and chop here. And then we're going to be making some chicken nuggets, handmade chicken nuggets. If that's something you'd be interested in and you want to find out how to make chicken nuggets at home, follow along. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. So what I'm doing is cutting up the chicken here, putting in manageable bites, just so it doesn't, because I'm going to have to do my, Mix and Chop is a smaller food processor, so I'm going to have to do this in batches, so I'm just cutting up the chicken, making them more manageable, getting all the nasty bits off of it. And then cutting up the chicken breast. So they'll fit nicely in the pressure cooker. Or not pressure cooker, excuse me. The twist and chop. Now that we've got our chicken all cut up into manageable bite sizes, we're going to go ahead and stick them into our twist and chop food processor. And I'm not adding any seasonings or anything to this because I just wanted like ground chicken in my freezer bag. And we can season them season the chicken when we're cooking the chicken. So we're going to go ahead and stick the lid on here, and then we're going to pulse. It's not going to take too long because we've already cut it up quite a bit. All right, and that looks good to me. Because I'll be using this for chicken nuggets, so I'll need it to be kind of pasty, but not too pasty, because we don't want to turn it into like a mush or whatever. So that took us about what do you think, cameraman? 10 seconds maybe, and that's very high on the time scale there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blade out.
So you were going pretty slow with it.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put my chicken. So I got one clean hand, one dirty hand. I'm going to put my chicken into this bag. And then we're going to do our second batch. All right, friends. So we have our ground chicken breasts. And we're going to add some garlic and herb. And I'm doing about a half capful here, so it's probably half a tablespoon. We're going to do our 3 onion mix, about a half capful. Ooh, got a little bit more. What I like about this is, see, it has a bunch of dehydrated onions in there. It just makes anything, takes it to the next level. And then, of course, we're going to want to do our salt and pepper. Can't forget that. And then what we're going to do after we get all of our seasonings mixed in here is we're going to make chicken nugget shapes. And we're going to put it on a lined baking sheet here. And we're going to stick them in the freezer because they need to be hard when we do our dredging from the flour to the egg wash to the breadcrumbs. Mixy, mixy. That smells really good.
It does. Third Amendment.
You could also put it, instead of doing it, I got my little sous chef here helping me mix it. Instead of putting it in or mixing it by hand like this, if you don't want to, you can break out your stand mixer and mix it for like 30, I'd say 35, 40 seconds, and it should incorporate all the seasonings pretty well. All right, that's looking pretty good there. So what my sous chef is going to do now is he's going to make chicken nugget shapes, and he's going to transfer them, because he's got the dirty hands. He's going to transfer them from there to here, and then we are going to freeze them so they get nice and that's pretty good. I would flatten them just a smidge more. There you go. And then place them. There you go. Perfect little chicken nugget. All right, you just need to make about 20 more. All right, friends, now that we've made our chicken nuggets and we put them in our little nugget shapes, we're going to go ahead and stick them in the freezer for 30 to 40 minutes. You want them to be solid but not frozen. You want them to hold their shape. So when you're dredging them, they don't fall apart as you're dredging them before you fry them in some oil. Or what we're going to do is we're going to bake them in the oven or air fryer. Oh, well, my cameraman's giving me a side eye, so maybe we'll do some in the air fryer and we'll do some of them in some oil. So we're gonna go ahead and stick these into our freezer. And they're gonna just chill here for a little bit and we'll come back. All right, friends, we've made a batter, and what this batter is, it is 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1 cup of water, and 1 cup of flour mixed together, and that's what we're going to dip our chicken nuggets in. All right, so we're dipping our chicken nuggets into some cornstarch. This is what's going to allow the batter to sit on it while we wait for our oil to heat up to 350 degrees. Now, I do these in batches of 5 because you don't want to overcrowd your oil. You don't want to cool your oil down. So I do it in batches of 5. And what I'm going to do is just lightly cover all my chicken nuggets with some cornstarch here. And place it back on here. And then I move to the next one. And I do it again. Oops, I got cornstarch on the counter there. So it helps a little bit to use your hands to rub the cornstarch around it. And that's what's going to help the batter stick to the chicken nugget. And then once we're done doing all that, then we'll do 5 at a time into our batter here, and then 5 into our oil. Once our oil hits 350. Want to get yourself a good thermometer and check your oil. Once it gets to 350, which we are, yeah, we're above it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat down to medium heat, from high to medium heat. And then we are ready to go ahead and start putting some of our chicken nuggets in our oil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a fork, because it's easier to do it with a fork. And then I'm going to dredge my chicken nugget, but we're going to go ahead over to the oil first. Now that our oil is hot, we're going to go ahead and dredge our chicken nugget. And then we're just going to kind of tap the excess batter off of it. And we're going to stick it in our oil. And we're going to do that with 4 other chicken nuggets. And we do it in batches of 5. Now this batter is a little thick, so I have quite a few chicken nuggets here, so I might have to make more batter, but it's okay. It's a 1-in-1. 1 teaspoon of your seasonings, 1 teaspoon of your salt and pepper, and then 1 cup and 1 cup. So 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water. Now you want to work fast, but you don't want to work too fast. And you don't want to cool down your oil. And it looks like I'm going to probably do batches of 4 because I'm using my wok, and my wok isn't as big as my other pan I usually use. So we'll just do 4 at a time. And once those get to a golden brown, I'm going to get a plate out with some paper towels. And we're going to let them, the oil dry off of them. So this one is pretty much done. I like to take them out and put them on my plate over here with some paper towels. Now I don't get them golden brown yet because I like to put them back in and do a double fry. So once they get to about this color, I go ahead and take them out. And then we move on to our next 4. All right, so we fried our chicken nuggets once. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them back in there and we're gonna wait until they get that golden brown again. Now this time you can put a little bit more than just the 4 in there at a time. And this is where we're going to get that golden brown restaurant style looking chicken nuggets. I let these cook probably about 4 to 5 minutes. You gotta make sure your temperature is at 350. And then once they're done, we're gonna go ahead and stick them on here. Let them completely cool down, and then use our thermometer and make sure that our chicken nuggets are at temperature, which would be 165. All right, so once they get to a golden brown like this, gonna want to remove them from the oil. Carefully remove them from the oil. No, no, cameraman, you'll burn yourself. Hot oil. And they also plump it up when you do that. When you double fry them like this. Alexa, cancel. So I did about 4 minutes instead of 5 for these. It just depends on your oil and how hot it is. You just want to eyeball them and make sure they don't get any more brown than this right here.